Welcome back. Don't go anywhere. The best bits still ahead right here on talkSPORT. Now, this next one, the sports bar on the night Grimsby took down the mighty Manchester United. Jamie and Jason turned up in full clown outfits, and honestly, the performance on the pitch wasn't much better.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie Hart, and him over there is Jason Kennedy! Has anyone seen Manchester United? Ruben Amorim, can you hear me, Ruben? You also win 11 beat the Big Rat's barbecue. Flex, Fergie, Andy Goldstein, can you hear me, Andy Goldstein? You must win 11 beat Nick Hucknall for Simply Red. Eamon Holmes, Rick Astley, Castle 92, Salford City, can you hear me on the Mers? Hotel Football, do me a favour. Leaky Roof, can you hear me, Leaky Roof? You must win 11 beating. Roy Keane, Trafford Barbers, The Overlap Podcast, Alex Crook, can you hear me, Alex? You must win 11 beating. Gary Neville, David Beckham, Man United. You must win 11 beating. Oh, it's unbelievable stuff. Somehow, Rangers getting spanked isn't even the biggest story tonight. Manchester United have lost to League 2 Grimsby Town. It was live on talkSPORT. This is unbelievable stuff. What is going on? Man United are a shambles. Ruben Amorim, he's got to go, isn't he? What's going on? Rangers got beat 9-1.
Can you hear me, Ruben? You want to win 11 beating.
Get involved in the show. This is a biggie. 03 717 22 33 44.
Whoa!
Mate.
Oh, matey, what is going on? What's happening to the biggest club in the country, one of the biggest clubs in the world? They were humbled tonight. That is a remarkable. By the way, Grimsby.
Well done.
Can we just show some appreciation to Grimsby?
Well done, Grimsby.
But honestly, mate, what are Man United up to? What is that display? Honestly, they only fought back for the last half hour.
No, they were shocking. They're terrible, mate.
What are you wearing?
What do you mean, what I'm wearing? Got my outfit on. It's Man United, isn't it?
Best I see you look, actually.
Oh dear!
Oh,
you know what's quite alarming is the nose kind of, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Proves the looks.
Oh my word! What is going on? Man United. They've put how many goals did they end up scoring? Grimsby?
Is it 15?
Did they get 15 goals against them? That outrageous stuff. 15 times.
No, mate. 15 goals he's conceded. That's not helped his cause, has it? That is unbelievable scenes at Grimsby, by the way. We're still watching it on the monitors here. Unbelievable scene. Manchester United. How on earth? This has got to be, in the modern time, since the Premier League, is 1992, this has got to be the worst result of their history, right? I know there's been bad results in the past, but in the modern era, surely this is the worst result ever.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Has to be.
Considering the fact they've got no European football this season.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I mean? They've got to win a trophy. They've got to try and start the season well.
Mamma mia!
And they've got no European football, no midweek games, and they can't beat Grimsby. Do me a favour.
By the way, Grimsby, I can say it again, well played them, by the way.
Yeah,
brilliant. They put everything. And the first 25, 30 minutes, Manchester United, what was I watching? Grimsby, and the fight, the desire, the urgency. Manchester United didn't know how to deal with it. Eventually, I mean, they got themselves back, and that takes some doing, by the way, because they were terrible tonight. Harry Maguire gets another goal. But to go out, the pain that must feel for being outplayed for an hour, right? The second best, and they come quality told. But to lose like that,
let's go to the calls. There's a lot of Man United fans phoning in. Let's go to Mike. He's a Man United fan. Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
How are you, Mike?
Mikey.
It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke, our football club. Amorim, he has to go tonight. It's his system, his tactics was caused this problem from last season. Somehow it's carried on to this season. And people said back him when he's meant to have a pre-season, get the players in. He's had a pre-season. He's had players in. We haven't improved that much. Against Arsenal, we put a performance in. But tonight, the balls are like, they wouldn't even pass. As soon as Anana kicked it out, I thought, oh no, we're going to have this sniper. Nah. He cannot defend corners. I mean, Harry Maguire, okay, yeah, he's got a couple of youngsters there. But in
Sorry,
the day,
Mikey, go on, mate.
he should be a leader.
Who?
He should
Who's
be
that?
a leader at the back.
Who's that?
Who?
Maguire should be a
He
leader.
is a leader.
No, but he should be. He should be. He's been.
Can't blame Maguire, mate. Can't blame Maguire for tonight.
I blame all of them, near enough.
Yeah,
Bowman's got
but
to go.
Maguire's not the one you look at. Anana, I mean, what's he doing? Flapper in goal.
Well, go and get David De Gea back. Go and pay him whatever he needs to get him back in there.
He ain't coming back, bro.
Mikey, that's
No one's coming back.
that
to
ship
me.
sailed,
That's
bud.
what they need. That's what they need.
You need a new manager.
Well, I've been saying that. How many times have we been saying it, Jamie? How many times have we been saying it? I said it all last season. Should have sacked him off.
I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what it is, mate. He's come in. Oh, no, look at. We've got a new violin. Oh, we've got a proper violin.
This is an actual joke. I've never seen anything like it. I looked at him, I said to my partner, I said, you know what, I've never seen United play this bad. This has got to be the worst. I thought bad enough last season. I thought, okay, we'll give him a bit of time in that. You know, you can leave him off his back a little bit. But no, it's not improved that much. They won't sack him off, though, will they?
It's a joke.
Of course it's a joke. They should be made accountable, even Ratcliffe and Glazers.
I can't. And this show.
Mikey,
All right, listen up, y'all.
thanks for the call, Mikey. Thanks for the call.
This show's unbelievable. that violin. That violin's brutal. Oh, God. Let's go to Hassan. Oh, he's a Man United fan.
Hassan?
Lads, as soon as Bruno stepped up for that penalty, I said to my missus, Jason is... No, stop, no,
What?
no, stop.
Oh, we ain't doing
We
that.
ain't doing nothing, mate. Got no control.
Oh, mate, I can't. I'm going to break into tears. Stop it.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm telling you, I can't do this anymore, Jace. I can't. I said to my missus, as soon as Bruno stepped up, Jason's going to be laughing at us tonight because we're a laughing stock. Firstly, Brimsby
Nah,
fan.
you wouldn't do that, mate.
Well done, boys. But other than that, honestly, everyone at Manchester, I want to take the scout who picked Nana out for Nando's. No, stop. Oh. Yeah, well, I guess if that's what you play at a funeral, that's what we're playing tonight for Manchester United. Because Manchester United tonight, guys, died. And you boys are at the front of the funeral and you're loving it. You're absolutely loving it. You're not even in your black suits tonight. You're wearing red suits with your red ties because you love it. You love the death of Man United. talkSPORT loves the death of Man United.
Mate, what's going on, though, you lot? You're an absolute mess.
Bow ties, not black ties. Just get it right.
You're an absolute mess.
I can't.
Seriously, mate. Grimsby.
Grimsby Town on a Wednesday night? Are you having a bubble bath?
Good team. Good team.
Great team. League Two.
Good team, mate. They're a good team.
Jamie.
Okay, listen, what's going to... Hassan,
Yeah,
listen. Right,
yeah.
the violin's gone away, matey.
Yeah.
What of your club? You are the biggest laughing stock in European football right now. Do you know that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I do.
Manchester United are the biggest club right now that everyone is laughing at. Everyone's pointing the finger. Do you remember?
I know.
Do you remember when Simpsons? Ha ha. That's what everyone's doing to you, Hassan. You're the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in world football. This would never happen to Real Madrid. This would never happen to...
Impaired.
Huh?
Jace, listen, I'm visually impaired, so I listen to you on the radio, Chelsea games, right? I was there, and you once said about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, when I was listening to United versus Chelsea, you said, Man United are nothing but rich West Brom. That was one of your lines.
Did I
what
say
are we
that?
tonight? Yeah.
Wish I'd used that earlier. I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Listen, mate. Thanks for your call. We're going to go to... Let's go to Atia. Man United fan. Atia? Atia?
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
Oh, I tell you.
Well, I'll give you a question. What is the biggest similarity between Manchester United and Ferrari in Formula One?
Go on.
It's not the fact that the team's colours are both red.
Yeah.
They have no strategy. There is zero strategy to whatever game that they're playing.
Do you follow F1?
I do. I'm a really big F1 fan.
Right,
and
I'd stick with
disappointed there too.
Ferrari. I'd leave Man United. That's what I would do.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I have the first thing I said to my dad. I was watching. My dad is George. He calls in quite a lot, but
Is he there now?
he's downstairs. Yeah.
Is he? Get him on the phone.
Hold on, we've got a George on the phone. Is this? Hold on.
We've got George as well, have we?
It might be him.
George?
Yes, hi.
You're Tia's dad?
Oh, he's gone. He's dropped off. Where is he? George?
Oh no.
George?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you Tia's dad?
Yes, I am.
So one's upstairs and one downstairs, and you're both phoning us up.
Yeah.
There you are.
This is a joke. You lot. What's going on?
Well, I agree. Look,
Oh my God, yeah. First thing I said to him when we missed that penalty, when Mbomo missed that penalty, was, "Are you not embarrassed enough? Did you not embarrass yourself enough in the Premier League?"
What'd you say, George?
no, I agree. I mean, I can't put it. I would give you two words. You asked earlier on to one of the previous guys.
Yep.
I would say this is shambolic, and what was the other word? Pathetic. This was tonight, shambolic and pathetic. And one of your previous callers said that he would get rid of Maguire, but he's totally out of order. The person to get rid of is Onana.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Amorim spent 200 million because we couldn't score a goal last year, and yet he doesn't look at the fact that how many blunders Onana has made.
Yeah.
He cost us the Champions League. Do you remember when he let two in a couple of years ago or something? As soon as this guy came in,
Yeah.
Amorim,
Yeah.
and then he cost us again in last year in the league.
Yeah.
And then again he flaps just now. Why can't he go and spend 25 million on Donnarumma, and he's available tomorrow?
Well, you got an honor, mate.
Sorry.
You got an honor.
Onana needs to go.
Tell him, drop him.
George,
I don't care.
George, why did you mate Tia support Man United? What are you doing? What are you doing? Look at
It's
the
very
pain
simple.
you're going through.
Because there's only one rule in this house.
Yep. What's that rule?
He really stitched me up, didn't he?
From the time they were born,
I tell you, how old are
you
you?
just support.
I'm 21.
Right, I tell you can still move. You can still
you
move
can't.
club. No, you can.
No, yeah, you can't.
22
Can't
is
move.
the age you can't move after 22.
No,
No, she can. I tell you, you can.
She's not going to move now.
I tell you, your dad's let you down. Move. Go downstairs and tell him to his face.
Hold on a minute. She was born during. Remember, Fergie came in.
Right.
So at that time, it was all hunky dory, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, see, I mean,
It wasn't
George.
the last 10 years.
George,
That's the
she's
problem.
22. She's 21 now, mate. Let her go.
Yes.
Let her go. I tell you,
It's her choice. I'm not forcing her, but she ain't.
I tell you,
gonna
who would
choose
you
her, I'll tell
choose?
that much.
Who would you choose?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think I might
There you
just
are.
stick to watching tennis.
Or Formula One.
yeah,
Formula
Well,
One and
Formula One's
tennis.
laying me down. No. Ferrari's laying me down. I think I just stick to tennis.
yeah. You know what's amazing? That you two have phoned us up. You're just basically having a conversation with yourselves in your own house.
Yeah, well, she's upstairs. I'm downstairs.
Do you want us to just go home? You might as well just have a conversation with yourselves. Go on, have a chat with each other. What you got to do here? Have a chat with each other. What, George and Tia, go on, just talk to each other.
Well, we did during the second half.
Yeah, we talk now. We want a post match from both of you.
Yeah, come on. Give us a post-match.
Atia's got it spot on. That she said that we were pathetic. She said, "This is we can't even beat Grimsby."
Who, Man United or you?
And no, United. Amorim. It's our Amorim's fault. And why? When you're buying strike, why are you playing the long ball? I don't understand. And Bruno had a very bad game. In fact, I don't think Bruno and Cunha can play in the same team because they both want the ball. They both want the balls to go through them. And they're playing so many long balls. I came in, by the way, at half time. My dinner got cold. I didn't have dinner. Atia's telling me, Dad, dinner's on there. I said, yeah, okay, well, watch the second half. And then I'll have dinner. And then this fiasco of penalties. But this is pathetic. But I just kept seeing long ball, long ball, long ball. So what's the point of buying Bueno and Cunha if you're not going to pass it to them, go through a League Two team? You can't.
Good team, Grimsby, mate. They're a good team.
Bad, you know, mate.
They're not a bad team, but League Two, my friend. Okay, let's get into perspective here, shall we? But
You're not talking to your daughter. Who you talking to? Not Tia, you know.
I'll tell you what will happen. When we play Liverpool and City,
Yeah.
we'll turn up.
No, you won't.
No.
No, you lot poo,
Mate.
mate.
I guarantee you
No,
we will turn
right,
up.
I'm telling you,
Honestly,
you lot have gone.
You're garbage.
Mate, you've gone.
You've only beat 7 Premier League teams, mate, since Amorim's come in.
You've gone.
After City and Liverpool, give me a call.
You haven't scored a Premier League goal yet.
You're right. That's true.
Grimsby put 15 goals past you.
15 they scored.
And Onana had to get the ball out his net 15 times tonight.
Come on, mate. He can't have
15.
that. He let 15 goals in tonight, Onana.
Again, you have Onana, experienced goalkeeper, Premiership goalkeeper. He can't get the right way on 2 or 3 of them. He has to get. He flapped at them. He didn't get a strong hand.
You've already killed Mbuemo as well, by the way. He's one of the best penalty takers I've ever seen. Signs for Man United, misses a penalty. Cunha, one of the best penalty takers I've seen, misses a penalty.
Yeah. And these are the 2 buys that we made, and they both missed. It's all because of Cunha. When he came up to step up, he was too casual. He was too casual when he stepped
takes
up.
Penalties like that all the time for Wolves.
Well, it didn't work tonight, though, did it? Maybe the bank balance is ticking in his brain.
Let's see if Mattia.
Amarim should have put on Bayindir. I don't know why he didn't. After Onana made those 2 very big mistakes in the first half, he should have subbed Onana off and showed him that I'm the boss. You do what I say. If you don't show up, you don't play. But why did he keep him for all these penalties as well? Yes, okay, Bayindir makes mistakes as well, but you at this point in time you have to choose which is the lesser of the 2 evils. Who makes less mistakes?
So we got the draw for the next round. Who do you want in the next round?
Burnley.
Oh, dearie me.
Thanks for joining us again. Let's pick up where we left off. Grimsby, Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. I watched it last night.
I did too.
Yep. Producer Luke and I were texting each other saying, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Can you believe it? Anyway, Grimsby on penalties, and what a marathon penalty shootout that was. Absolutely. They go through, and Ruben Amorim's Manchester United are dumped out. First things first, and let's get this in the right order. Well done to Grimsby. This was their boss, Grimsby manager, Dave Artell.
I said to him before the game, part of our game plan, be brave. Be brave. Don't regret not being brave. And if you make a mistake, trying to play football, it's on me, not you. And that's how we want to play. That's how we express ourselves. Like I said, we should have scored more goals than the 2 we did. And that's the disappointing thing from my point of view. It didn't surprise me we played like that. I appreciate against world-class players, you never know. You know, we sat in the game in the office before going, well, you never know, but it's going to be a tough night. It was a tough night. You know, they've got world-class players, and it's a fantastic night for the football club, and I'm still extremely proud of what the players have produced.
Dave, from us all here this morning, well done. Well done to you. Well done to the players and everybody at Grimsby Town. 2-2, and then it goes straight to penalties, 12-11.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about entertainment, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I mean, I don't think the goalkeeping was of the greatest of standard, but the penalties were fair play to them. I was watching Grimsby thinking eventually they're going to miss, they're going to crack.
Me too.
I mean, it was a pitiful penalty for Matheus Cunha, wasn't it? To be able to seal it. I mean, a player that's got such tickets on himself has a moment to shine and then steps up in against the League Two side and passes it to the goalkeeper. But I'm glad that happened, because I thought that getting out of jail from Man United in that cup tie would have been an injustice on Grimsby and would have papered over the absolute indignation that they deserved to have thrust in their face.
Yeah.
For what ostensibly in the first half was a pitiful performance. I feel sorry for United fans. I very rarely feel sorry for them because they are quite an entitled lot at times. But I felt sorry for those fans that schlepped across the country to watch a group of players that couldn't be bothered in the first half, didn't think it was for them, didn't fancy it, beneath them. And then I listened to a host of pundits talking about formations. I'll pack it in. It's not about formations when you're playing against a League Two football club, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
It's about a desire and ability.
I know a lot of people.
Neither of them were exhibited in the first half.
A lot of people in the media call themselves Manchester United fans. How they can do that, how you can be both, I do not know. It's impossible. You work in the media, you've got to be right down the middle. You've got to be objective. Call it as it is, which is exactly what you do every single morning you're on with me. So, Simon, 56 places and 3 divisions between the two. Was this a night where levels never came to the fore?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's the great tradition of English cups, which must never be lost.
True.
And these moments in time are such wonderful things that you enjoy them. And the owner of the football club, I remember him coming on this show a couple of years ago, and I think he was travelling down to an away game that Grimsby had drawn in the Cup and talking about his new ownership of Grimsby and his aspirations. So I was pleased for him. I saw him last night talking about, Eamon Holmes and Usain Bolt and everyone in Guildford who supports Man United. Your boys took a hell of a beating.
Love it.
I'm pretty sure they would like to better draw perhaps than Sheffield Wednesday, but you know what, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely club. I remember going there years and years ago with their old chairman, I think it was Peter Furno, was in situ, and playing a game there when I was at Crystal Palace. So they're a great football club, with great traditions, not a great deal of success, but valuable to the community. So levels are always, at the fore when certain thought processes don't exhibit. And one of them was that Manchester United players didn't fancy the game.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be there. I don't really know what Amorim is talking about. I think he wants to say things, and for whatever reason, he'd rather be cryptic about it. Whatever his players spoke loudly of, it can't be that they don't want to play in this formation. It can only be that certain players that he's given an opportunity to, that have got hooks at half-time, like Ugarte, have been given opportunities and are not stepping up.
Well, to me, there's only one question in town. Should he carry on? But we'll get to that. But Simon, after last season's lowly United showing of 15th, and I still can't get my head around that.
Yeah.
Are we honestly heading for worse this time around? I mean, are there more depths to plummet?
But we've all given lots of passes to managers and talked about the weight of the shirt and talked about the culture of the football club and talked about the expectations of Manchester United and the challenges and clearly the inherent situation that's inside the football club. But I don't know what, tragically, I found out that Ruben Amorim graduated from the same coaching class as Gabi Abonglaho this morning, so that might explain a few things. But if you've been somewhere for 10 months, it is unfathomable to suggest that the United fans are along with Amorim now, because we're talking about 10 months now. He joined in November of last year, or maybe the very early part of December. His first game was against Ipswich, wasn't it? And we're now talking about a football club that he's been in charge of for 10 months. And there seems to be nothing changed. In fact, there seems to be a deterioration, if that's a possibility. Now, he will say the last two games in the Premier League, he says curious things. He talks about the fact that when they played Arsenal, they put a performance in that could beat anyone in the Premier League, yet you seem to have evaded that you lost.
Yeah.
So you couldn't beat anyone in the Premier League because you just lost to Arsenal.
Right.
And he talks about not being in Europe. He's a strange brew. I don't know what they saw in him in the first place besides the fantastic record that he had in Portugal. Clearly he's got something about him, but clearly he's been given an enormous amount of latitude, because this is a car crash in front of your eyes of deterioration and managing people's expectations. I guess the only thing you can think that he's doing is taking people's expectations to such a low level they can now over-deliver.
Right. Well, you talk about Amorim, Simon, and you're not wrong, saying curious things. So post-match, was there a tone of resignation to Ruben Amorim? He was asked what was the most disappointing aspect of the performance.
Everything. The way we start the game, we were not even here. When everything is so important in our club, everything that happened, it's a problem in our club. We should do so much better. So I just have to say sorry to our fans, and I felt my players spoke really loud today what they want.
Can you just elaborate on that? What you mean? Your players spoke very loud on what they want.
Easy for you. Let's focus on the next game, and then we have the stop for the international games. We will think things through. You cannot change so much. You cannot change everything in one summer, but you need to win games. You need to don't show this kind of performance. I think that this is a little bit the limit. So I think something has to change. But let's focus on in this moment. We need to focus on the weekend, and then we have time to think.
What do you take out of that?
Well, not a lot.
Do you take out of that we're almost at the time now? We're almost at the time now. I don't have any more answers. We're almost there.
Well, I mean, he doesn't bristle in interviews, and that might just be an Iberian style in terms of the way that he operates, and he isn't one of those, albeit that Mourinho's a Portuguese, and he bristled at every opportunity, didn't he? So it's not generic to that particular part of the world that they have a bit more about them in terms of, rather than if that was Ferguson or someone of his ilk, there'd be bristling, there'd be rage, you'd see it. and it's not there. It's a calm, balanced view of what he's not comfortable with. But I don't know how long you can allow it to go on.
It's a defeated view, though, Simon, isn't it? Does that not sound to you like a manager laying the foundations for his own exit?
I don't know. I mean, we heard rumours earlier on in the year, didn't we? And obviously the thing in football, and we've said it 100 times, the two biggest commodities are gossip and money. And one of the rumours was that he'd handed his resignation in and was told to get out the door and get on with the job that he'd taken on. That's all. If that's true, is there any substance in that? And I don't know if there is. If there's any substance in that, that's the worst thing you can do with somebody is talk them round. Because if you talk somebody round, then you're a hostage to fortune because you've convinced them to do something they shouldn't need convincing to do. They should want to do it. And then you're in that situation. So if they've done that, they're going to have a challenge. And then you look at the appointments over the last 2 or 3 years, and it was a constant common denominator of failure or failure to achieve standards that have been achieved previously. And that's the challenge that United have got. They are victims of their own success. They're not allowed to have this impasse where the team is going to be recreated. Ten Hag, by all of us, was criticised and castigated, and all of these managers teams seem to talk in psychobabble that no one can quite understand. You've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying that Man United don't need to win anything. You've got Ten Hag coming out with stuff that clearly in front of our eyes you'd have to be blind pew to agree with him. And now you've got Ruben Amorim talking about things that we can't understand with no improvements, saying things that his players have spoken loudly. And I don't know anyone that's been able to understand that. That's right up there with the sardines are following the trawler.
Well, that's right. But when we break it down, Simon, and I go with everything you're saying, he says there's one more game, that's this weekend, and then we'll decide. There's an international break, and we'll decide from that. I think he's out of there. Or at least he's got 1 foot out of there.
I mean, possibly. I mean, you never underestimate the gumption of people. I think that to have gotten the job of Man United manager, you have to be dragged out there with your fingernails being scraped across the Old Trafford pitch to want to be leaving that environment, unless you haven't got the chops for it in the first place. So if we're talking about the idea that he's resigned to defeat, then good job, get rid of him quick because he hasn't got the stomach for it, because it requires real gumption, real stomach, real backbone, real balls and real character to get through this challenge of Man United. And too many of us are making excuses for the culture of Man United. But the problem for Man United is that the scrutiny is so ever present that they're not able to have a bad game, a bad moment, a bad set of situations, because it's always there all the time. And so you can't rebuild. You can't, like when you highlight a new stage show, you take it off Broadway and you let it learn and then you bring it back to the big theatres. You can't do that with Manchester United. You're straight in the glare of things. But if you've been in a job in any walk of life for 10 months and it appears to be getting worse, and by your own admission, nothing has changed, well, who's the architect of change? How far do you want to take? Now, he's right to say, well, my formations were the same against Arsenal. My formations were the same against Fulham. So why is my formation becoming a question from a journo that was asking him a question? Because they would ask it.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Phil Jones, and I was listening to one of my old players, Joby McAnuff, and they desperately tried to avoid the formation conversation. And Phil Jones talked about the idea that if you don't approach the game and do the basics, then you'll have no right to be in the game.
Yeah.
And there is always this situation where big clubs come down to lesser clubs and they find themselves under-aroused. In the second half, you can't criticise Man United for being under-aroused. They battered Grimsby. They could have been 3 or 4-0 down. Absolutely. And you have to look at the quality of what they're doing on the field. But no one can question the second half's performance in terms of desire to get back in the game.
Welcome back. We hope you're enjoying our Christmas specials right here on talkSPORT. Into September now, and a quite remarkable conversation. Boris Becker joined us on talkSPORT to open up about his time in prison, his reflections, and what comes next. It was powerful stuff.
I'm delighted to say good morning to Boris Becker. Boris, morning.
Boris, a very good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and happy birthday, Ali.
Ah, Boris.
Day for you.
Boris, if somebody had said to me at, the back of 8 o'clock that Boris Becker would be wishing me a happy birthday, and I said they were mad, but thank you very, very much. It's greatly appreciated, my friend.
Boris, this is Chris Evans. I think you're going to talk to Chris later, who's hugely talented. He read your book yesterday. I've just got a copy today. I will read it. He said it is fantastic. Now, Boris, this takes a lot of guts, a lot of Slazenger balls to write a book like this about your experience in prison. What made you do it, Boris?
Well, a lot has happened to me in the last, 10 to 15 years. Being a pretty famous guy. So the world news had a field day because I was in a trial and so forth. I couldn't answer, and you know how these days work. They live on the headlines. If you read the small print, sometimes the story isn't as sensational.
Yeah.
So I felt the need and the urge to once I'm cleared, and once I'm back in freedom, as they say. Once I'm out of insolvency, I felt the urge to tell my story, because it was necessary. It was also therapy. When you go through so many difficult things, you sometimes, in order to digest them and to feel better about it, you need to sit down and have a proper conversation. And that's what I did with my wonderful ghostwriter, Tom Forsyth.
Well, I've got to say to you, Boris, I'm the same as Big Alan. I cannot wait to read it. That's for sure. I want to ask you, if I may. You mentioned that dark period that you went through. Now, it is something that we can only imagine. You must have some strength to get yourself through that. But I want to take you back. How did you feel that minute, that moment that you realised you were losing your freedom?
Well, most difficult day of my life, but it was sort of in two steps. When I was found guilty on April the 8th of 4 charges, then the next court trial, the hearing was on April the 29th. This when I found out about the damage, meaning is it going to be a suspended sentence? Is it going to be 7 years inside? Oof. And those 3 weeks were the most difficult, because you have to deal with all the consequences. You have to speak to your kids. My mother was still alive, my sister was around, and my partner then. And you have to really be open about talking all the consequences. What happens if the worst happens?
Yeah.
And that certainly happened on April the 29th and to make the day even worse, it was the birthday of my wife. So I went around and bought a couple of flowers in the morning, and then we went together to the cab to go to the court. So that was a very, very difficult day, and there you go.
Yeah, Boris. How can I ask this? But prison, you walk in, you sign what you sign, you get your clothes, you get your prison gear. How were you feeling the first couple of days, and especially nights when that prison cell door slams shut? How were you feeling?
Well, a very difficult moment, and I was unfortunate because it was a Friday night, so it was locked all weekend long. So I'm talking 22 hours inside a very small cell. I was only allowed to come out, for lunch at 11:30 to 12:15, and then dinner at 4:30 already until 5:15, and that was it. So 22 hours, and then on the Monday it was a bank holiday. So really, I was able to go out of that cell on the Tuesday morning. So those 3 days, and in particular the nights, because you can't sleep. You hear all the screams about the other cells. You don't know if some of the other inmates are killing themselves or hurting themselves or harming themselves. So you're really completely at loss.
Yeah.
So this complete control of your life was very, very scary.
Boris, sorry, Al, I know you're that again, but Boris, that mentality of a winner, of a fantastic world-class sportsman, a Wimbledon champ, a champion at sport. Do you think that helped you through those early weeks in prison, mentally strong, tough, and get through this?
I think so. When I was playing tennis, I was most comfortable in the 5th set. I was most comfortable in a tie break. When the going got tough, I thought that I was okay with it. And I think that mentality of surviving a difficult moment on the court, I think helped me a lot in prison, of saying, I don't know how I'm going to survive, but I will survive, and I will do anything necessary to do so. I'm a father of 4. My wife, we're expecting our first child together in December. So there's a lot of responsibility for me, with my sister and her kids. So I couldn't just say I'm going to give in. I'm going to give up. I have to find a way And I think that was something that helped me on a tennis court a lot.
Another question I'd like to ask you, Boris, and we're going to move on to obviously happier times in your life as well. And there's plenty of those. Don't worry about that. But another question I'd like to ask you: when you went into prison, Boris, do you think being Boris Becker helped you or hindered you, or was it a combination of both? Because if the fact of the matter is, as soon as you go in there and the door slams, everybody, inmates, and officers know who you are.
Actually, my first prison was HMP Wandsworth. They had no clue about my tennis history. They thought I was this famous guy on the news because, in April of 22, I was a lot in the news, but they didn't have any knowledge of my tennis history. So that helped me that they didn't know who I was. I was a number. My number was 82923 EV, and that's what I was called. And even the wardens didn't have much knowledge. Again, I think that served me well. That changed once Wimbledon was on, and we had a little TV inside that cell, and I was able to to see the BBC and Channel 4 and ITV. So Wimbledon was on, and I think that's when the inmates realized, well, this guy, they talk a lot about him on the TV coverage. He might be famous for something else. But that was July, so I was already 3 months inside, and I was able to alley a couple of tough guys to protect me.
Yeah, but Boris, could you, in terms of, it must have been a shock to the system, like food, when food came, could you eat the food, or was it just impossible to begin with?
Well, the English cuisine is not known to be the very best, to say it mildly, but that food inside was just unbelievable. But you're so hungry because you have so little food anyway, that you literally eat anything. So for the first time in my life, I felt hunger. At 7 or 8 o'clock inside your cell, you have you want to eat something small and you can't. And so this is maybe something that served me well in hindsight, because it cleansed me. Between the end of my tennis career and my incarceration, I had 15 years of maybe making a couple of wrong decisions, sticking with the wrong people, being too comfortable, being in my comfort zone for too long. Maybe prison served me well. It woke me up. It realized what's important, what's not important. You can imagine all my so-called friends left me, just a couple stayed. So, it's been 2.5 years since I'm out, and my circle of friends is different, and my clarity and my sanity is back as well.
Thanks for sticking with us right here on talkSPORT. And let's get back into the Christmas spirit on talkSPORT. And we finish September with one of the most surreal moments of the year. Darren Benty, interviewing The Rock. Hollywood meets talkSPORT. And it was every bit as entertaining as you might have imagined.
I want to start with you, Dwayne. Did you always want to make an MMA movie? And what was it about Mark Kerr's story that attracted you to it?
I didn't always want to make an MMA movie. I wanted to make this particular movie. MMA just happened to be the thing that Mark Kerr did. And at one time, as you know, Mark was the greatest MMA fighter on the planet. Most dangerous, feared, unstoppable. He was, he was a smashing machine. And he would just completely go through these guys. The most compelling thing I think about Mark's story that we wanted to tell is when somebody can seem impervious to losing or invincible, you just never know what they're actually going through. And whether it's us, you, anyone out there, like we try to put on this thing, right? Like, hey, we got together.
Yeah.
And we try to at least, but you never know what people are going through. And that was, I think, one of the key reasons why we wanted to tell this story. Because he's actually Mark and Dawn, whose girlfriend became his wife. They're divorced now, but they have a beautiful son named Bryce. They're the living examples of what happens when you go for everything and you lose it all. Yeah. And there's addiction involved, and there's, he overdosed twice. He's lucky to be alive, but they're here today, and they made it, and they overcame those odds.
I mean, I've seen the film and I think it's absolutely amazing.
Thanks, brother.
And for you, Emily, what drew you to Dawn's character, and how much time did you have to spend with her to really get that kind of emotional connection?
I mean, I tried to spend as much time as I could, and, you know, she was so generous with that time and with what she shared within it. You know, it was just, I, of course, asked her endless nosy questions about everything, like everything to do with their relationship, and she was really vulnerable. And it's also, now she's older, she's wiser, she's looking back on that time as one of the most volatile times in her life, and I think we've all behaved in ways at times that we go, why did you do that? Oh my God, you could have handled that better. But there was great love between them. And yet, for me, the attraction was to play somebody who wasn't necessarily tidy or palatable or sort of easy to pin down as to whether she was a support system or his Achilles heel. And I think that just felt truer to a relationship. Because in films, it has a clearer identity sometimes, or characters have a clearer identity. But I think people are a myriad of things, and they fluctuate between those things within half an hour. And you see this, and like human beings are hard to figure out. And so I loved that about her, and I loved that about Benny's environment that he was willing to explore, you know.
Was it one of them as well, when you spent the more time with both of them, that the more they opened up? Because I'm guessing at first they're quite nervous and quite guarded, and then all of a sudden...
Dawn was maybe more nervous at first. Mark is quite open, actually, and he's very self-reflective. And our first Zoom we had with him was almost 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours. It ended at midnight. It was extraordinary.
But you're right, they are a little bit, because it's their life. And, you know, up until maybe, I don't know, 5-6 years ago when we first started making the announcement that we were going to do, in 2019 was first announced that we were going to make Smash Machine, and Benny and I were going to do it then, and then COVID happens. But the documentary came out in the early 2000s, and for Mark and Dawn, really that's their legacy. And it didn't end well, that documentary. It's not like it ended, it had this rocky ending. Yeah. It's like, oh, the guy loses everything, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And so you think for them, for decades, that's been the lasting
imprint
until this. So naturally they were a little guarded and concerned, but also wanting to be open as well. So we told the story right.
I read something somewhere as well for you, Dwayne, that you had to bulk up, which... Sorry, I find
Dude,
that really,
really
It was really
difficult
funny.
to believe.
Benny being like,
that?
do you work out? You're going to have to. Like.
Yeah, I found that really difficult to believe. How hard is it for you to obviously change different weights for different roles?
Well, I've done that in the past, you know, a couple of pounds here, 5 or 10, you know, modulate the weight up and down.
Massive.
This was bananas. Like Benny came to me and we had a good laugh about it. He said, I don't know how to say this, and I don't know if you've ever been asked this, but you're going to have to get bigger. And I kind of laughed, but I knew he was right, because Mark Kerr was a
puffier.
Puffier, because Mark was a big guy, a lot bigger than I was back then. And he also had the challenge of putting on 30 pounds to play Mark Kerr, is that Mark Kerr's muscle is a different kind of fast twitch fiber muscle that, you know, athletes out there and coaches, you know what I'm talking about with wrestlers, because, you know, it's that fast twitch movement. So I had to put on the weight and at the same time make sure that I still stayed agile, and I had to move in the ring and in the cage. Yeah. That was hard, man. And that's a lot of weight to put on, because Mark was so big, in his traps and his back and his legs, you know, from all the takedowns and that movement that he would do. So that was hard to do, man.
Someone who we know over here, Alexander Usyk, obviously heavyweight champion of the world, fantastic. What was it like to work with him, and how, because obviously you're swapping combat sport in terms of MMA from boxing ring, what was he like to work with?
Amazing.
Let me tell you something about Usyk. First of all, amazing guy.
Amazing guy.
Beautiful soul,
awesome.
and open, and beautiful stories he would love to tell us, and great.
Such a character. Vibrant, such a big personality.
I get in the ring with him, and, you know, we didn't cut away. Benny didn't want to cut away. He came to me early and said, hey, I know you have great stunt doubles, but I'd like to only use you, which meant I'm going to mix it up with these guys and get my ass kicked. And so the first time I lock up with Usyk, we're full on locking up, and we went through the whole fight scene, he and I, And I knew then, when I told you this, when I locked up with him and I felt his embrace in this lockup, I knew this is a bad dude. And don't let, because, you know, some dudes look like, oh, that guy's a killer.
Yeah.
His body is shit right. And some dudes, like Usyk, can be a little deceptive, right? Just how he looks.
Yeah.
But when he locks up, that deception becomes reality because I'm like, oh, this is a bad dude. And he's just, you could feel it in his legs and in his base. And then we start sparring at the top of our fight. You know, a couple of jabs out there. He is so fast.
Yeah.
And you know, if one of these punches slips,
It's bad.
I'm going to the
and
hospital.
what was his favourite thing to eat on set?
Cake.
Cake?
Yeah.
For an athlete, cake.
He wanted to eat cake all the time, and it
That's
just
how you
made
had to
me
bribe
laugh.
him to
You
do
would
stuff.
bribe him to be like, they like the lovely PA was like, Alex, we do need to get the fake sweat on you again, and he hated the fake sweat. He was like, why? Like he didn't understand continuity or anything, and she was like, if I get you some cake, will you do it? And he goes, yes. And so they'd get him some cake.
Absolutely incredible. Well, Dwayne, Emily, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
brother.
Thanks for talking to me.
What a year it's been on talkSPORT. Thank you sincerely for spending part of your Christmas with us all here at talkSPORT. We have plenty more coming up your way in 2026.